We're about 2 weeks into Nostrum WoW Phase 2, and there's a lot to talk about since my last video. If you're wondering what Nostrum WoW is, check out the video that I'm going to link here first before returning to this update regarding Phase 2. Before we get into anything, please like and subscribe if you want to hear more Nostrum WoW news and private server updates on PBQuest. Alright, Phase 2. Nostrum WoW is off to a great start. I think that since Phase 1 ended, we saw a huge population boom at the very end of Phase 1 when Memon, the GM, spawned in a world boss for everyone to fight in the Barrens. There was about 1,000 people in the Barrens, and the server was struggling to keep up, frankly. So 1.5k people logged in all at once is a lot more than I thought we were going to see at the end of Phase 1. But that's pretty much good news, I think. That's indication that the server is growing. And it really shows during my live streams. A lot of people are asking me what the link is to sign up, and it's a lot of people, like more than 100 at this point, I feel like. So all in all, good population growth, good sustainable user base online every day. So what did Phase 2 bring? Well, first and foremost, it raised the level cap to 29. And it also activated catch-up mechanics from level 1 to 18, which is 2 times the amount of XP for the catch-up rate, while level 19 through 29 moves to a 1x rate like normal. And a few people were asking if this can be toggled on or off if you are leveling from 1 to 18. Can you toggle off the XP bonus? And yes, the GMs have added a way to do this. Simply talk to the starter NPC whenever you make your character and ask him to turn off the 2 XP rate. Originally, I don't think this was planned, but a lot of people were asking about it, and the GMs said, okay, we'll give it to you. So I'm glad that they decided to do that. That's a good move. Now, with the booming population here and the server growth, there's a few things that the GMs did to curb on suspicious bot activity. One of those things being to remove world loot chests. So basically to prevent automated farming and people camping and disrupting the economy in these early phases. I personally don't really think that removing them all was the best answer, personally, but it's fine. It's not like that it's going to ruin everything, but it does make the dwarf find treasure skill kind of useless at the moment. It's definitely not a deal breaker, and it's not really a big deal at all, but it's just something that I wish that they would have handled differently, like maybe decrease loot or cap the loot at a certain level. So people don't get, epics from, like level 60 epics or something from a chest. Here's hoping that they add chests back in Phase 3 or soon at the very least. While those were taken away, the GMs have added trainers for jewel crafting in Stormwind and Orgrimmar. It's definitely kind of a small thing, but if you're a jewel crafter, I'm sure you'll appreciate this one. Moving on to the next new thing that the GMs have added, and it's kind of a big one. It is heroic dungeons. All of Phase 2 dungeons have a heroic option. You have to be in a party full of level 29s to activate heroic mode. You just talk to an NPC whenever you go into the dungeon before you kill anything. And that will make the enemies much more spongier and do a lot more damage. While I'm very glad that the GMs added heroic mode, because honestly, with the talents that we have from Wrath and the content that we are doing at this level, a lot of this is very easy. At least the dungeons are really easy. So adding a challenge mode here is a very smart move, but my criticism with it is that the rewards are not very good. If you complete a heroic dungeon, you will get 1 gold, which isn't really that much. You could probably spam the same dungeon on non-heroic, like the normal variant, and, you know, get a lot more gold. over the same time that it takes you to do one heroic. And a lot of the people that I've talked to playing the game in the server are saying that it's kind of meh, you know, it's really not enticing to go do a heroic dungeon. Despite it being more difficult, it really doesn't have any kind of incentive to go do it. So maybe I'm hoping the GMs rework the rewards for heroics at least a little bit. Maybe not gold, maybe something else, maybe like Mogs or something cosmetic, or, you know, something like that. Otherwise, like I said, I'm glad that they added it. I hope that the dungeons going forward all have heroic modes as well. This was all voted by a poll, by the way, from the community. So the community voted to have heroics. The GMs also polled us on whether we should have war mode or PvP flagging bonuses. I'm thinking maybe in phase 3, when people are all together questing in Hillsbrad, they are going to implement a flagged bonus or like a PvP mode bonus. So that's just my guess. So that's like the quote-unquote patch notes of the game, of what is being changed or what has been changed. We have a few other announcements throughout the last couple of weeks. Most of this regarding the health of the server and having to upgrade the capacity to, you know, host more people as the server gets bigger. There's also a very important update that I haven't mentioned yet regarding the terms and rules being overhauled to add clarity on ninja looting, scamming, griefing, false reporting, and account sharing. We don't have to go into the details of that, just don't do any of that stuff and you should be fine. The Nostrum team is also implementing anti-cheat defenses. I'm not sure exactly what that may mean, but they are looking for bots. Something that Blizzard won't do and will never do because it makes them too much money. Now, let me address one question that many people have been asking during my live stream. When is Phase 3? Well, we actually have a date. Phase 3 starts on July 3rd, but before Phase 3 starts, you will want to make sure to log in a few days before and basically be ready for the Phase 2 end world boss, or whatever they're going to do. I think they're going to switch it up for Phase 2. I think the end event is going to be a zone invasion or like a wave event. It's probably a smarter idea to do that because it, you know, takes the strain off of 1,000 people being on one boss in one area. And now that covers pretty much up until right now. That's the news for Nostrum. I just want to personally say that it has been a really fun server to play on still. I'm logging in mostly every day. And Phase 2 has been a lot more fun than 1 because, well, there's a lot more stuff to do. And it's still not nearly the stuff that we're about to get into in the next few phases, as you all know. We've all played classic WoW before. We all know what happens. We get to level 60 and we start raiding. It's all very predictable, but it's all very fun too. And with a slow burn server like Nostrum, it's great for people who just don't have a lot of time on their hands and they have a few weeks to actually prepare for the next phase. They don't have people rushing to 80 and, you know, making them say like, oh, okay, these guys just smoked me in levels. I don't want to play anymore. I don't have the time. I can't invest the time. These people just level to 80 super fast and then, you know, they do their thing. But this is different. This server is very, very focused on keeping a good pace with how the community grows, just so that we're all in the same area, we're all in the same zones, leveling up together, we're all in the same battlegrounds. We're just keeping it simple. The catch-up mechanics are there for the newbies who are joining and basically who just want to get into World of Warcraft as fast as possible to join the rest of us on the current phase. So generally, overall, great server, great GMs, they're cool, they join my streams, they just kind of like warp in front of me and then, you know, just talk with our party or our raid, whatever. It's honestly a very good community and I'd like to keep it that way, so So let's keep it that way. Let's keep a good reputation for the Nostrum community for being polite and helpful. Okay, so just to quickly address the elephant in the room, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are currently crafting a comment below saying, Ascension WoW is getting taken down. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you shaking in your boots that Nostrum might get taken down too? And I say, well, not really. I mean, I've been through a lot of server takedowns, but the thing is, I've had a really good time on every single one of them. So I'm not very concerned. I know that the server could be deleted tomorrow. It could be, maybe, or it could last 10 years like Turtle WoW almost did. Like, I get it, for real, I get it. We've been through Nostarius, we've been through Turtle WoW, we've been through Project Epic. It's always the good servers that get shut down. But the thing is, those good servers were really, really good because they had Classic Plus going on, and they actually had like advertising campaigns. Turtle WoW was advertising on wowhead.com, which I thought was the Icarus moment, you know, Turtle WoW flying a little too close to the sun. Ascension also has a lot of advertising going on, so obviously Blizzard is going to be targeting these servers that make a lot of money. Well, Nostrum doesn't have a cash shop, so honestly, I think that we're so far down the list that, you know, it doesn't really matter. The GMs for Nostrum are not trying to compete with Blizzard. I think they made that obvious by not doing any Classic Plus stuff. So all in all, just enjoy it while it lasts. You know, some servers never get shut down. Like, look at Warmane. Chromicraft is still up too, so I don't know. I really have no idea what Blizzard deems to be horrifically bad and, you know, take down. Blizzard sure really knows how to make horrifically bad decisions on their own games though, but that's a different story. Anyway, that's it for this update. I know it's been a long one. There's a few people in the last video making comments like, this had to be the longest video I've ever seen, you know, this could have been a minute long video. Okay, well, you know, there's a button that you can press on YouTube. It's the AI button. You can press Ask AI and then hit Summarize Video. And guess what? You'll get a whole list of what I talk about right there. You never have to watch another video again on YouTube, ever. So you could use that, or if you're already watching and you know, you're probably playing the game right now, you're probably eating like a bowl of noodles and listening and like grinding WSG. And this video is for you, okay? This one's for you. Anyway, check out my live streams if you want to come run dungeons with us and get prepared for phase 3. You can join the PB Quest membership. Yes, we are monetized now. We actually have memberships, and it's only starting at $1 a month. So if you really want to help out the channel, consider becoming a member. That's all. Okay, thanks guys again. Like and subscribe, hit the bell. I'll see you next time.